quick, come in. Right, so it's a bit of a rush. We've got plasterers coming very soon, we've got sparkers here, we've got plumbers here, and we need to get these done. So, SASH windows, we've had the final delivery of the windows turn up, and we've basically got to get these all smashed in. Well, hopefully not smashed because they're windows, but get these all in, get all our metal stud work up, get them insulated, ready for the plasterers who are going to turn up very, very soon. So we need to crack on with this. Let's get it done. Right, so depending on your circumstances, you may want to get the guys that are supplying your windows to come out and measure them up. That way then there's no discrepancy. If they turn up to site and they don't fit, it's then on their heads. However, you may want to measure the windows yourself, depending on where you're getting them from. You may be getting them from abroad or up north or down south or wherever you are, you know, somewhere else around the country. So I'm just going to quickly run you through as a rough guide how we measured up the windows. What you want to be taking into consideration is your finished reveals on the external. You'll need to know the full width of your frame from your manufacturer, but what you'll normally do is give them a reveal to reveal measurement. From this reveal to that reveal, take down the measurement, and then also so in this instance we've got a concrete sill down here. You go from the sill to the header and take that as a measurement, and then you would give those measurements to your manufacturer and you would say that that is wall to wall and sill to header, so they know then exactly what the opening size is going to be. Because the windows fit from the back to the front, you need to make sure that you've got your margins the same everywhere else, so they will tell you exactly what the window size needs to be overall. We'll go inside now and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Right, so inside you can see the frame here. Well, if we look here, you can see, come over here and have a look. Right, you can see here the window will sit flat against the inside of this brickwork, against the outer leaf. So we've measured from this point here, but obviously our window frame is going to be wider. So when our window sits in here, it's going to sit approximately there, and then it will hang over slightly here, which gives you your reveal on the outside of the window. So that's why it's important to measure reveal to reveal to give you your opening size, and then the manufacturer will then know you've got X amount of space here. You may need to give them a measurement brick to brick on the inside of the reveals as well, just to make sure everything fits in nicely. But as a general rule, you would measure from reveal to reveal and from sill to your header to give them your opening size. So we've obviously already pre-measured these, we've checked that they all fit, so we're happy to go. We can now take out the window and get ready, prepare it to put the new one in. So let's get this one ripped out and then we can start installing. So basically these are normally either wedged in, or there'll be some bits of timber that have gone into the bed joint and that have nailed through. Fortunately for us taking these out, they haven't been fixed in very well, so they literally, we just need to tap a few of the packers out and then just pull these out quite simply, and then we'll make preparations then to get the new one in. So every window's going to be slightly different, but these ones have got this little reveal here. Yours may be plastered in or whatever. You just basically need to slowly take it apart. If this was a normal SASH window, which was an opener, this one is not an opener. You're going to have to deal with weights. There's going to be a box here with weights inside, which basically counterbalance your sashes sliding up and down. So there will be a bead which comes around the outside approximately here. You need to tap that bead off. Then you need to cut your SASH cord, hold onto the weight, cut the cord, and then your weight will drop down at the side. Do that on both sides, and then you'll be able to just pull your sash straight out. Same with the top as well, and then get your weights out. So then that way, then all you're left with is the frame. Nice and easy, nice and light. You don't want to be taking the whole window out if you've got the weights and the sashes in as well. This one is not an opener, so there's no weights or anything like that. It's a fixed window. So all I'm going to do is take the surround off, tap out the few nails at the top, and then literally just pull this out. Nice and easy. So we've removed the surround and the sill, and now basically all that's holding this window in, we just clear down the edge here. So there will be a few nails at the bottom, but there's literally 2 nails at the top of this window which are holding this in. So I'm going to get up there, tap them out, and then the window will just come straight out. As you can probably see, we've knocked some of the render off out here. That's because it's loose. So we're going to be reinstating this with some lime render. Depending on what you're doing with the property, hopefully all this will stay in for you. But because this is quite old, it was pretty shot, so we've had to take some of it out. What that does mean is where they put the window in and they filled the render in, it's left a bit of a lip here. So what I'm going to do is basically leave this in for now. I'm just going to throw a level up here and see, because what that means is when they installed the window, they would have installed it plumb. So they filled that in, which means that this render should, in theory, be plumb. So we'll chuck our level up here and we'll see. So it's not too far out, so I'm actually going to leave that in. If this was to cause a bit of a kick, I would have tapped this off on the inside. We've had to do that on one of the other windows, but in this case, this side is fine. and this side is also fine. So I'm going to leave that in, the window will sit up to that, and obviously we're going to have to repoint down this side when we re-render these reveals. So what I'm going to do now is just clean off it for the brickwork, make sure there's no loose stuff, no bricks that are jutting out. If there's anything that's really offensive that's going to impede our window sitting in there, we'll tap that off. But this looks pretty good, to be fair. The brickwork's pretty good down here. Just any bits, like any snots like this, just knock them off so they don't get in your way. Have a good hoover up, get rid of all the crap, and then we can get the window chucked in. Right, so we've got all the area prepped, we've got all the snots off, we've got the sill sorted, so there's no dust anywhere, nothing in our way whatsoever. The windows are now here, this is ready to go in. This is your box here for your weights. We have noticed it's slightly flappy here, so what we're doing is just using the staple gun just to pin these back, because we don't want anything getting into the weight box, because that will cause us issues and stop the weights from working as efficiently as possible. What we're doing in this instance is we're cutting these horns off here on the top and the bottom. Just makes it easier, because what we're going to do is put some 4x2 in these reveals here, fix those mechanically to the wall, and then we're going to slot the window in and then wedge everything where we need to. So these may get in our way, so that's why we're cutting them off. What we'll also do is seal over here as well, because there is a bit of a void into the box through the top, and again the last thing you want to do is get stuff in through there, because it could quite easily cause damage to the weights or stop your windows working properly. So we're going to get these finished, cut off, get the 4x2 in, and then we can get the window in. Right, let's do it. Okay, so we've got all our area prepped, and what we're going to do now, we're going to fit some 4x2 in these reveals, and what that's going to do is enable us then to wedge our new frame, our new window in. Two ways of doing it. You could either plumb up your timber that you're going to put on the inside of these and then wedge from that, or you can just fix your 4x2 straight to it and wedge it from that anyway. It saves extra wedges if you just literally fix it to the brickwork. So you're going to need an SDS, some plugs, impact driver, or just a normal drill, whatever you want, and some screws. My very helpful and glamorous assistant Phil has just brought me some 4x2. Thank you, Phil. So 4x2 is literally going 4x2 is literally going back to the shop saw to be cut down a bit more. That didn't fit, cut that bit out. Take two. Has now bought me 2 bits of 4x2, which are going to drop straight in. Boom, look at that, perfect. Okay, so all we're doing literally is just lining this, like I said, so we've got something to fix our frame to, and also something to the header, but we'll show you what all that means in a minute. Right, let's get this fixed in place. Easiest way to do it is put one at the bottom, one at the top, and then that stops the timber moving around, and then you can just infill with a few extra fixings through the middle. Right, that is the last bit of 4x2 in. You can see now what we've done. Line that so we can just slot our window straight in now. We've put some packers on the sill because we know it's going to be up to this height at least, so we can now drop the window in, get it wedged, and then start to get it all levelled and plumbed. Alright, hopefully it needs to move over to you a bit. Something like that, okay. That's it, windows in. Nice and easy, job done, let's go home. I wish. Right, so what we've done, we just basically plonked it in there. We put this bit of batten across just to temporarily hold it. And what that does, it's just loosely on there. It just makes sure the window doesn't fall out, but it also enables us to then centralise the window in the opening and also get it plumb, level, etc, etc, without too much fuss. Just gives us options, we always want options. Right, we've got 35mm that side, 30mm this side. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right, so what we've done now is basically centralise this in the opening, but what we've done is measured it from the outside. So you've obviously got your finished reveals outside. You need to make sure that the reveals or the edges of your frame are the same on either side, otherwise it's going to look a bit dodgy. The render does slightly taper off a little bit in a few places, but overall the measurement, they're accurate, they're even on each side and on the header as well. So next up what we need to do is make sure that we're level this way and then also that we're plumb that way as well. All we're doing is just getting a wedge underneath one side, because you can see that this side needs to come up. Just tap that in and now we're dead on there, so we know we're level that way. You can also chuck another level on here to make sure. Pretty good. And we're pretty good. Right, so all we need to do now is basically wedge this. Let's also check it this way. Right, so I know that the top needs to go in. We're tight against the render that side. It's important to check both sides. What I know is that the window needs to kick out slightly at the bottom. This just takes a bit of time just to mess around with everything. Once you've got it where you need to be, then we can get it all wedged in. What we're going to do is get some mechanical fixings at the top of the window. So we've put our bits of 4x2 in either side, and what we're going to do now is slot a piece of 4x2 in here, fix it to our 4x2 either side, and then fix through the frame into that. So that gives us some nice solid mechanical fixings at the top of the window, as well as all our wedges everywhere else. That means that everything's nice and solid and isn't going to come out. So I'm just going to take a measurement from in between the two pieces of 4x2, get myself a piece cut, and then I can show you how I drop that in and get that fixed. Right then, so I was going to use a bit of 4x2, but this works a lot better because it literally slots in here and then it gives me the perfect distance to make sure that my window's plumb. Obviously your circumstances may be slightly different, so just do what you need to do to get it to work in your instance. So I'm just going to literally tap this in behind here now, like so, and then I'm going to fix this through into the timber behind. All this is doing is giving us a good mechanical fixing, so we can fix our window to it, make sure it's nice and solid. Going to put some additional wedges in then afterwards. Obviously what we're going to be doing is putting a timber surround on these windows all the way around, so I can make some holes here, safe in the knowledge that they're going to be then covered by the additional timber. I'm still going to make sure they're quite high up though. One there, one roughly in the middle, and another one this side. Right, that's it, nice and solid. So now what we need to do is just get some wedges in. So a lot of people will just wedge the top and the bottom just to keep it nice and solid. What you don't want to be doing is wedging down the sides here, because you may twist the frame. You may also interfere with the boxes as well for your weights. So what we're going to do is basically wedge at the top where these horns are that we cut off earlier. We can wedge there, we can wedge at the bottom there, and then we can also wedge underneath the sill area just to make sure it's jacked up nicely against this and we're nice and solid. And that's it, it's in. Right, let's get the wedges in and then we're finished. Right, so what I've done is basically machined a load of timber wedges up just from offcuts that we've got lying around. What you can do is just use plastic packers and tap those in, or make some wedges on your chop saw or with a hand saw or whatever you need to do. But these are just ideal for stuff like this. Literally get a wedge in. These may be a bit too long, but I think they're all right. So it's important not to just put one wedge in and just drive that straight in, because what you might do is kick the window over. So just take your time and just tap one in and then tap the other in. And then what that does is just pinch it in then, rather than switching the size or moving it over. Keep checking with your level to make sure that you're happy and that everything's nice and plumb. That's still good. So I'm happy with that now. Then we're going to move down to the bottom. Chuck some more in down here. Right, so again, I'm down at the bottom. I'm where that piece of timber was coming through for the sill, so I'm nice and solid. There's a nice bit of timber here. I'm not going to twist anything. And again, I'm just going to tap one side in and then tap the other side in, just until I'm happy that everything's nice and secure. I can see the wedges are nice and tight. Chuck my level up there again, make sure that I'm happy. That's bang on there, and that's bang on there. I might just give that a little tap. There we go, that is it. I'm already tight at the top, I'm already wedged underneath, I'm wedged around all four corners. That is it, this window is now officially in. I can get my bit of temporary batten here, remove that, and now the window is in. Right, so the window is now installed. Obviously just one thing, check that it opens, because that's always a good sign. So the window is fully operational, top and bottom sash opens, so that's all good. In this instance, in this property, what we're doing is putting metal stud-work up to try and increase the U values in the property. If these are being installed in your house and you're not doing that, the window fitter may just leave this like this because they are not too concerned about any additional U values or sealing up anything. It will be sealed on the outside fully, so there'll be no drafts coming through anywhere. However, what we're doing, because we're trying to increase the U values in this property, we are going to foam around the outside of the window and make sure it's nice and solid in there, which also seals any drafts or anything like that from coming through. Let us know in the comments below if you do use foam for your windows. A lot of people may say that by foaming this up, it can push into the box and cause damage to the weights or impede the weights. However, this is a low expansion foam, and if there's anywhere that it's going to go, it's going to come this way rather than push into the boxes. So got no issues there. But yeah, that's it. That is basically how to install a SASH window. If you've enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment about the foam as well, and if you've got any additional questions, let us know in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. Take care guys, see you next time.